I remember 7 years ago when we were thinking about what we can do to connect with our community. And there was an Aboriginal Council meeting and we were talking about, okay, well, why not try something innovative? When we thought, hey, let's canoe through the communities, right? Battle of Fish Creek and all that, and get to Batoche.
For the Métis, the 125th is a really important year. It's been 125 years since the resistance out of Batoche in 1885, and so throughout North America, the Métis people are celebrating, not remembering the tragedy that happened, but more importantly, our survival as a nation and as a people, and our contributions to this great country. When it was building up, it was built on the labor of Métis people. Even at that time, our leaders stuck up for the rights of the impoverished and laborers. So, you know, a lot of things happened in 1885. So this year is a year for us where we're looking at reconciliation and commemoration and celebration.
If for some reason your canoe tips, if at all possible, please stay with your canoe. If you think you're an experienced paddler, if you could identify yourself. I know this couple right here has been here a few times. Every canoe trip, maybe?
But I don't know how to swim, so I ain't helping.
Okay. Good canoeer, don't ask her for swimming tips.
You need to take traditional values and integrate them into what happens today. And that's a key component to maintaining culture.
And Herb is from originally from Duck Lake. He's going to say a blessing for our trip.
Normally we like to say grass in our native customs. Before we do anything, we always say a prayer. Happiness be with you all. May you all receive the blessing of the Creator.
We started about 8 years ago, and we first started to promote CUPE and Aboriginal awareness. And it is to show people that we can all work and get along together. And it's gotten bigger and a lot of different people. Now we've got people all the way from Vancouver come to take part.
CUPE needs to change. We need to admit past mistakes. We need to not just lobby governments, as important as that is, we need to change the way we do business. The introduction of Aboriginal councils, circles for decision-making and discussion, consensus decision-making models, elders to begin and end our gatherings. This has changed CUPE, and in my view, changed CUPE for the better.
Yeah, I was simply flabbergasted. You know, the amount of organization that goes into this event, I never imagined that. I found a lot more than what I had expected to see here.
You get to meet old friends again, because lots of them you don't see except for the canoe trip. Build some solidarity in that, and especially it's not just all union people. It brings everybody together. You got the union and the Métis, and then your Aboriginal council and stuff. It's all grouped together, so it shows that everybody's united.
Traveling down South Saskatchewan really is sort of going back in time. You can feel the spirit and the presence of your ancestors, you know, we're the descendants of those great people, and you know, there's always something magical when you paddle down to South Saskatchewan. Be part of that riverway that changed the face of Canada. There's also the whole aspect of nature, and it's so peaceful and serene, you know. It's not hard to understand why anybody would want to fight for this stuff.
I'm going to put that out there first and foremost, that CUPE Saskatchewan is a fun group of people to be doing business with. It's really important for our organization to find new ways to reach our members. Moving ourselves outside of a conference hall or a meeting room is what I have found to be sometimes the most advantageous. So if we're able to demonstrate that we have a capacity to meet with people and even do business with people outside of a conference hall or meeting room, then I think we've done a good thing.
We wanted to come right in here, we missed that. So now we're right at the point.
Well, bringing children into the event was really amazing because it started off the first year and it went right from there. We've always had children involved in the event, and the children, it seems to be the highlights of the week to a lot of people, right? It's a family thing.
I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say before we sign our agreement on Wednesday, and I'm thinking I want to dwell probably on things other than employment. I think our national president can talk about that. I want to talk probably about the environment, about some water issues, certainly affordable housing, education. I'm a believer that education should be the right of everybody. You shouldn't have to be wealthy just in order to go to university. So those kinds of things, because to just talk about jobs, I don't think that's really the root of it all. I mean, it's important to have a good job, and it's important to have a good income, because we all need that, but we need a lot of other stuff too.
Being on the river really does connect us all with the shape and the turns in the river, the way the water flows, the nature that you see. It connects you. It really makes you feel alive and makes you remember what we overlook every day. We overlook nature and its beauty. The simplistic values of just being out there on the river was just, again, fantastic.
The river we came down, I saw a documentary a while back about the Saskatchewan River Delta. I think it's the largest freshwater delta in Canada, and it's endangered. And we need to really start lobbying about that, and we need other groups. If it just comes from a union, nobody's going to listen, frankly. We found that one out. But working with the Métis Nation is a big step forward, and I think if we start talking together and making public statements together about these things, then maybe we can affect some change.
Because here everything is live. It's being there, it's seeing there, and experiencing the wilderness, experiencing the wildlife somewhat, and also the ambience that you get here in a conference room or in a convention floor. You don't get that. And then in the evenings, you're looking forward to coming to the campgrounds where you have this food that was prepared for them. It was just amazing.
Shake it up. Hokey pokey and you shouldn't bounce around. That's what it's all about. I think it looks good. I like paddling in the rain.
Oh, it was good. Yeah, nice rain. Just cools you off.
6 feet out, it's about 6 feet deep.
We lost a few things.
And the water's nice.
And we lost our pride.
Right here. Right now. Stand back.
This is our first time, but we're having a great time.
Every time we can do anything positive like this and have fun at the same time, why not?
We get to know a little bit about the local history, and it's a seminal event in this part of the country and Canada's history.
This is all about relationships, relationships with people, and relationships with nature, and relationships with the Métis culture.
I want to welcome all of you to Gabriels Crossing. This was the homestead of Gabriel Dumont. It was his river lot.
And next door in that area was where he had his ferry. He came here in 1878. Madeline met Gabriel when they were probably about 4 or 5 years old on the buffalo hunt. They got married. Gabriel and Madeline came to this place, and this was the site that they chose. And he set up a little business here. She was a school teacher. She was the first school teacher in the Batoche area. She was an English half-breed. Gabriel was a Métis. And Madeline spoke English, but she also spoke 5 other languages. After the battle, his house was burned down, and the place, his store was looted, as was all of the buildings in Batoche. Everything was burned down and looted by Middleton's soldiers. Gabriel joined the Wild West show, Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, because he was in that show with Sitting Bull, and they thought that they could talk to people and tell them about their plight, what was happening to their people, but nobody was really interested. Gabriel came home and he passed away in 1906, and he never came back here. This was it was too painful for him. Roy Atkinson, he came into our communities at the invitation of some of our elder leaders to work with us to learn organizing skills, and they were union skills. And so I've always had a soft spot, as have many of us, for unions, although I've never really been a union member, nor have I been active in unions. I don't always like what unions do, because sometimes the relationship for our people is not always good, and you hear that a lot when you go into the north when it comes to jobs. But I hope that it's gatherings like this where we can get to know each other, because you can have gatherings and pass all kinds of resolutions, but it doesn't really change a whole lot, and it's the way that we can talk to each other at an ordinary level and get to know each other. Riel said before he died, "My people will sleep for 100 years, and it'll be the artists that will lead them, bring their spirits back." And we've seen that happen in the last 25 years especially.
Yeah, we should do the Red River Jig. It's like our national anthem. Folks want to see us do the Red River Jig?
Oh, yeah.
Just showing on. Save all your better steps for later.
I will.
Not everybody gets it at first. Very difficult. Heel, toe. 1, 2, 3. See what I mean? Heel, toe. 1, 2, 3. 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 1, 2, 3. Heel, toe. 1, 2, 3.
I think we're in for a good day. Day 3 is going to be good. Maybe a little rain, but as long as the wind doesn't come up, we're doing great.
Now we're going to go up to Batoche and sample some food and have a little bit of a ceremony. It's great.
I love coming to CUPE and to the union functions, because that's what it kind of strives for and brings together, and so it feels great. A lot of the memories, I mean, it was an amazing trip. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it was it was a lot more than what I could have anticipated too, for sure. The boating itself, it was nice to have that camaraderie with your CUPE brothers and sisters, and so made it a really great 3 days.
What we need to see perhaps is more demonstrations like this, where we see leadership walking the walk. We're on the river, we're paddling, we are going to Batoche, and it's important that we remember these events of our past.
And this exchange of cultural learning, I think, is very rewarding. And we should be doing more and more of this, because if you have been observing, the demographics in this country are changing. The future of this country lies with the younger people from these communities.
Well, it's an historical day for CUPE. I've always wanted to come on the Back to Batoche canoe trip. They've invited me for many years and it didn't work out, and today Tom Graham, Robert Duceppe, myself, taking the last leg of it, celebrating CUPE's connection with the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan is really what this is about today.
From this valley they say you are going. I will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile, for they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathways a while. Come and sit by my side if you love me.
Working in that community and seeing how badly, you know, it was in our communities, and what we could do to help change that, and what can a union do to help change that, and help each other, have a win-win situation. Doing this canoe trip, to me, connected to communities. It's not only go out and organize a community, get more Aboriginal people, it's to make your union more sensitive to the issues, educate. I mean, one of our biggest deals is education, you know, Aboriginal awareness. It's to let our existing union members know what an Aboriginal person is and how to work, where they could work together. And once they're working together, it's been great. So.
We made it. I didn't want to get my food wet, but I did. You know, once in a lifetime you get to experience something that will leave lasting change, and you know, I really come to see this canoe trip as doing that for a lot of people.
The history of the Métis people and First Nations in Canada is not dissimilar to the history of working people. We're cooperatives, we work together, we've had struggles, we've been exploited at times, and we know that one person standing alone can't make change, but everybody standing together, there's a chance to make change.
Oh, I think it was right on, and particularly in terms of us trying to make sure that there's job opportunities for Aboriginal people, and anything that we can do to help that along is in my mind, something that we need to be doing. And the youth, they're our future. Like a lot of us are leaving. A lot of the activists are, you know, we're reaching retirement age and we'll be moving on. So it's really, really important that the young people step forward and start getting involved.
These folks standing in front of you, CUPE members and their spouses and children, for the last 3 days have been on the South Saskatchewan River celebrating your momentous 125th anniversary. CUPE Saskatchewan's been a leader in changing our union. The first Aboriginal council within CUPE was here in Saskatchewan. The introduction of elders to some of our gatherings, the circle, consensus decision-making, reaching out to the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. And here in Batoche, we celebrate your history on this momentous anniversary, because before we can go forward, we have to understand the history of our great country and of your great people. But when we look forward, we talk about strengthening this relationship. We talk about building a better public sector to serve all the people of Saskatchewan, and we hope that public sector has representation from all of Saskatchewan, including the Métis Nation. Thank you very much.
This is the 7th year that CUPE has put on this canoe trip so that they could better understand the Métis people and pay tribute and honor to the Métis people of this country. When the fur trading company came over here, they realized one thing, that Scotsmen and Frenchmen weren't going to cut it. They weren't going to cut it, so what did they do? They did the best thing that they could ever do. They hired Métis people, because Métis people knew we were related to First Nations, we could speak all the languages, we're as tough as nails, and they needed us because we knew the land. And so now we're coming full circle, a couple hundred years later, with so much succession going on, people leaving the labor force. Who are we going to turn to again to fill those jobs? The Métis.
I'm very honored to be a part of both organizations. So anyways, here we go. In partnership of Memorandum of Understanding between the Canadian Union Public Employees and its Saskatchewan Division.
Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be speaking at an Aboriginal conference of CUPE in Ontario, and I'll be taking this history in Saskatchewan because understanding our past and the proud history of the Métis Nation in Saskatchewan is important, and it's necessary to move forward to build a better future. And we can take what Saskatchewan's doing here and add value in the rest of our union.
Our future here is going to be Aboriginal people. If we don't start doing anything, we're going to run the risk of having the same unemployment levels, the same social conditions that community has always faced.
Now it's fine to sign an agreement. Agreements are great. We can sign them and all pat ourselves on the back. But now we have to go and do some work, actual work with the Métis Nation and with our members who are Métis, and start really learning what needs to happen, what needs to change, how we can work together. Certainly looking forward to some of the environmental issues. I know the Métis Nation is very keen on that, and so are we. Affordable housing, education, but also employment. Employment is critical. People need good jobs, they need good paychecks, and that's what we're about. So we're really looking forward to it, but it will be a lot of work and it's going to take a long time, but we're up for it.
You know, I think it's really going to set the tone for a lot of First Nations and Métis groups across this country to re-engage with unions, and I think that'll send a powerful message to everybody across this country.
What's going to be hard is the implementation and make this work. It's to actually create those jobs, to do the follow-up work, to do that link, the overlapping of the political part to with real everyday concerns now. So it is actually getting people to work, creating that future for the youth, and also not forgetting the seniors too. We have to take a look at that along the line. So short answer, time for action.
I really do hope that we have generations to come that will see the language that was agreed to in that partnership agreement lived out, and if it hasn't been, then they need to put the challenge to us to say, you haven't gone far enough.
It is about social justice. It's about making sure everybody gets a fair shake, gets a fair chance. Those who in fact can't, we need to help, and those who can need to do their part.
If this country's going to move forward, we need to work in partnerships and work together to make the community stronger, and I think that's one of the real strengths of this partnership, is working together to make sure that nobody's left behind.
And if we achieve our end goal, a truly representative workforce in Canada, Canadian society will be better for it as well.
Shot you, Joe, said I. Takes more than guns to kill a man. Says Joe, I didn't die. Says Joe, I didn't die. Salt Lake City, Joe says I. You're standing by my bed. They framed you on a murder charge, says Joe, but I ain't